Monsters eat whiny children. This
You
is
better
for
not
you.
rhyme.
So, this will be a good lesson for you as you grow up. As to what might happen to you if you start whining. We'll give you a little leeway for now. But, Monsters Eat Whiny Children. For Amelia Myers.
No, look at that. She wants to watch.
Once, there were two perfectly delightful children who were going through a terrible phase, which is to say they whined all day and night. I want to go outside, whined Henry. Outside, outside, whined Eve. Where's my phone, whined Henry. No grilled cheese, whined Eve, and so on. Their kindly father warned them that monsters eat whiny children. They didn't believe him, so they whined and whined until finally, one day, a monster came and stole them away. He brought them back to his lair on the bad side of town. He began making a whiny child salad. I don't like sitting on lettuce, Henry whined. No wooden bowl, whined Eve. The monster made dressing, poured it on Henry and Eve, and called his wife in for dinner. She sampled the dressing and spat it out. I hate cilantro, she screamed. Start again, and this time use paprika. I hate paprika, said the monster. No, you don't, said his wife. Okay, he sighed. So he hosed off Henry and Eve and made a new dressing with paprika. His wife tasted it. I love it, she said. Everything was perfect. But just as Henry and Eve were about to go back into the wooden bowl, a neighbor dropped by and asked the monsters what they were doing. When they told him, the neighbor totally freaked out. You've got two wonderfully whiny children, and you're gonna make a stupid salad? He said. All week long, all I've wanted were whiny child burgers. Let's grill these kids up now. Yum! The monster and his wife thought about this for a moment. The neighbor said, Come on, I can't wait another second. I've even dreamed about whiny child burgers last night. Okay, said the monster. His wife sighed because this meant she had to clean their grill, which was disgusting. So they got the grill out from the back of the garage, cleaned it, and tried to make a good fire. But the monster couldn't do it, nor his wife, nor his neighbor, because it's hard to get a fire going sometimes. Henry started to whine, but then got distracted by a ball. He rolled over to Eve while the monsters were cursing at the grill. Finally, they asked the neighbor's cousin to come over, since he was good with grills. But he couldn't start a fire either, so he kicked a hole in the fence and said, You should make a whiny child cake anyway. The monster's wife said she couldn't eat sweets because her bottom was too big. Everyone told her that she was crazy. Besides, I hate baking, she said. I'll do it, said the neighbor's cousin. He started to assemble the ingredients and make the cake, but there was a terrible accident, and all the flour spilled all over the floor. So now they couldn't make the cake. Plus, the oven had been preheating, so the kitchen was hot and everyone was sweaty. Why does everything have to be so hard? Asked the monster. Anything worth doing involves a struggle, offered the neighbor. Henry felt bad for the monster, so he rolled the ball over to him. The monster bounced it against the wall and felt a little better. Hey there.
Is she sleeping?
Eve looked around for something else to play with. She found some cars in the corner. She pushed it over to Henry, who happily made it crash into another car.
Wrong one. There you go, honey.
We could make some rice, put a little curry on them, and have Indian dish, someone suggested half-heartedly. Perhaps a whiny child vindaloo. They all tried to figure out if they were in the mood for Indian food. Sometimes it's hard to figure out if you're in the mood for Indian food. As the monster's wife looked for some trucks to give to Henry, to Henry and Eve. Eve thought
She's
about the
lake
last time
monsters.
she ate Indian food. It hadn't agreed with her, and she wondered if that would happen again. No Indian food, she decided. What's going on here? Someone yelled with a loud nasal voice. Everyone turned around to find the monster's aunt entering, angry at the world as she always was. They told her about their day and she yelled at them, For Pete's sake! Yeah, I know. She's not very nice. For Pete's sake, she said, hitting the neighbor's cousin with some spittle because she had a saliva problem. Just like you do. You shouldn't just make a simple whiny child cucumber sandwich. Yes, 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 they all said, and jumped up and down. It's such a relief to finally figure out what the right thing to eat is. Enough of this nonsense, said the monster's aunt. Let's start making the sandwiches. The monsters excitedly went to the cupboard and found a nice loaf of healthy 12-grain bread. For Pete's sake, his aunt spat. Everyone knows you need fluffy white bread. The monster explained that he hadn't eaten white bread in years, but the neighbor quickly ran next door and came back with the fluffiest white bread anyone had ever seen. Now they had to add whiny children, but they turned around to find that
She's
Henry
liking
and
your
Eve
story, Kevin.
had somehow escaped. So they all sat down and ate the cucumber sandwiches, which, while not like the ones with the whiny children, were absolutely delicious anyway. And here's the recipe. Cucumber sandwiches. 1.
That must be one
Lay
good
out the
story.
slices of fluffy white bread. 2. Spread the mayonnaise, or cream cheese, or butter, all over them. 3. Slice some cucumbers and put some on the bread. 4. Put the rest of the bread on top, and they are all ready to serve. Meanwhile, Henry and Eve ran back home and never whined again. Although, to tell you the truth, every now and again they did. The end.
Aww.
She must have liked my story.
I agree.
Put her to sleep.